This video is to help you write your paragraph on Dr. King for our unit Freedom at All Costs. We watched this video yesterday. I was going to include it in the video, but the audio is not working. So the video, if you remember, was talking about claim, reasons, and evidence. And we are looking at Dr. King's claim that he believed we could all find freedom. The reasons that you are going to put in your paragraph are the rhetorical devices that Dr. King uses, and to show what he believes and why he believes we can find freedom, you are going to use one example of repetition, one example of parallelism, and one example of extended metaphor. In the evidence, you are going to look at all the different ways he uses examples, quotations, anecdotes of stories, or facts to support how he says we are going to find freedom. I put notes on your outlines and put them back in your folder. So if you had a good example, I labeled it parallelism, extended metaphor, or repetition for you. If you didn't have one, I just highlighted it and reminded you need one of each. So all of that is in there. I use the same color coding we've been working on to help support you. And then some of the evidence, this is also on the board that you can pull from the text, is he cited the Declaration of Independence. He cited that slave spiritual song, Free at Last. He cited the former national anthem, My Country 'Tis of Thee, which is when he says, let freedom ring. He's referencing that song. He also references Bible verses throughout his speech because he was a preacher. So there's that Bible verse, let justice roll on like a river, and another one, the glory of God. So he is referencing those two pieces of the Bible. He is referencing that song, My Country, Sweet Land of Liberty, Let Freedom Ring. You can go back and watch his speech if you would like to. There is an exemplar in here. There are also copies on the board for you. Remember, you are answering the question, does Dr. Martin Luther King's speech connect to that essential question? Can each of us find freedom? Dr. King obviously believes that we can find freedom. So you are writing your outline and then your paragraph about how he makes that argument we can find freedom. So in your outline, you need an example of parallelism. I use the sweltering, invigorating one. How he says protests will continue and they will not stop until they beat injustice. I used repetition, go back to, because 250,000 people were there listening to that speech, and we'll bring that back to protest. And then my extended metaphor, I did the jangling discords and then the harmony symphony line, that people of faith will not stop because they believe in the Declaration of Independence, life, liberty, and happiness. So you have my example. You can read that to support you while you're working on yours. So you need an extended metaphor, your evidence, that's going to be in that red, how you know this proves he thinks we can find freedom. You need an example of parallelism. You can look at my example. That red text is how he uses evidence to support that they will find freedom. You need an example of repetition and what evidence he uses. Please look at the examples, finish your outline, and then type your rough draft. It does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be finished so that we can work together on Tuesday. So there's another example. You can open this. This is in Google Classroom to support you. While you're working, there is the rubric to guide you. If you want that A or B quality grade, you need effective quotations, that explanation, elaboration, that's that red text, or any experiences that he's referencing. So you need to have that really intriguing elaboration, brings this topic to life, and you really developed your answer to that prompt. Can we find freedom? The B grade, 80%, is that you have some of those, but you're missing a couple of these. Obviously, then a C, you're missing more of these, and a D or an F is that you really didn't finish this. As long as you're working and turn in your rough draft by the end of class tomorrow, we will absolutely work together more on Tuesday on this. So check your rubric, keep working on this assignment. There are some sentence frames here in this slideshow you can open that will support you as you're typing. All of us said throughout his speech, he makes it clear that each of us can find freedom. And then throughout his use of extended metaphor, he emphasizes, and then what he said. For example, when he says blank paragraph, this means. So you are explaining what the metaphor is. He is emphasizing something in that metaphor and then explain why that shows we can find freedom. So all of those resources are in there. There's a ton of slides in this slideshow. And then in Google Classroom, there is your work. This is where you will type it. There's all that background we did on Dr. King and the civil rights. This has all of the exemplars. This has the timestamps, so if you need to go listen to a certain spot of the speech with all of that information. And then within this document, it has all of your directions, and then you will scroll down to the bottom where you have your text box, and you need to type it with the color coding so that I know you did your own work. Remember, if you use AI, it is an automatic 0 for academic dishonesty. It is only about you doing your own work and having a rough draft ready so we can keep working together on Tuesday. I will miss you terribly, and I will see you next week.